Hi! It's been about a year since I did my last video, but here I am at my Swedish cottage and I thought maybe you'd like to have a look round inside. Hey, let's go.
So, I bought this cottage in the summer of 2022. If you followed my journey, you might already know that I owned the cottage just across the road, but now my son had recently moved in. And I've really grown to love this place. The porch and the door of the porch are just so beautiful, and as you can see, it's a perfect place for storing logs for the winter, keeping them nice and dry. And I think probably my second place is where we're about to go next, which is the kitchen and this lovely set of table and chairs with that very pretty tablecloth, which actually I bought in the UK rather than Sweden. And I just love the simplicity of this kitchen. As you can see, it's a real vintage kitchen, handmade, and I love keeping all my stores in the jars there. Try and keep them safe from the mice, which are just endemic in any Swedish household unless you have cats. Now, this is how I keep my house warm. That heats all the radiators. That pipe goes up and goes round to all the radiators. So I pop that on each day and keep the house toasty warm when it's winter. This is the door to the upstairs. I'll show you that a bit later, but can you see this gorgeous pattern? The previous owner was an art teacher, and I think she must have done it, and I do love it. But again, can you see those doors and why I love them so much? Almost everything you see here came from a second-hand shop. The table and chairs, this sofa, even the box that you see there on the floor, which is for the children's toys. And this sofa actually was left by the previous owner. It's a sofa bed and it's oh so comfortable. And that's my fire that helps keep me warm in the winter. I love going shopping at the second-hand shop and buying things for this house, but I think I've nearly bought as much as I dare without having loads of stuff that I don't need. Now, there's something you need to know about cottages in Sweden. They're toilets. You can either have an outside toilet, which is what my son has, and that works perfectly well. The local commune comes and empties that. Or you can have one of these, which when I first came across them, I was not a big fan, but they're very efficient. It's an incinerating toilet. Now I've got a left-hand toilet there. So the left-hand toilet is a portable toilet, but the one on the right is an incinerator toilet. So yeah, you do your business in there, put the lid down, and it all gets burnt up. Magical. I am really sorry about the fact that the maid had not visited before I did this visit, so not everything's ordered, and as you can see, I've tidied the bed away so it doesn't look all pretty. But you can see my gorgeous view, and as you can see across the road, that's my old cottage where my son and his partner and their 4 children now live. And this is the beautifully painted chest that you might already have seen if you've watched my Swedish thrift shop video. Looks like it's time to go upstairs. As I say, please excuse the mess. The maid hadn't come in this week, ha ha. The maid never seems to come in. And you might be surprised to find out what's in the first room. I certainly was. And I'm still not sure what to do with it. I'd love to know, if you're Swedish, what you suggest I do with this. My daughter-in-law knows how to use that because she's joined a group of ladies within the local village. And during the winter months, this is what they get up to. They do some weaving. I bought this gorgeous treadle sewing machine in the hope that I might actually do some sewing when I get a bit more time to spend out in Sweden. And this is the second bedroom where guests can stay. There's a couple of put-you-up beds there, but it's a bit of a glory hole, as you'll see. I tend to do my drying up here, store the laundry while it's drying. And here we are in the garden, and this is a root cellar, or as the Swedes say, and I'm sorry Swedish people that I'm probably going to butcher this word, jordkällare. However, at the moment we're not using this as a root cellar. My son has his own root cellar that's down below his house. So it's basically an underground storage space where you keep food cool and preserve root vegetables and potatoes and other things, and especially would have been used before we had modern refrigerators, because a lot of these cottages are really quite old. Okay, on to probably my favourite part of the house, which is the greenhouse. And in the summer, this is just a spectacular place to be. And this garden is very, I guess, untypical for a lot of Swedish gardens, which seem to be a lot of grass. The previous owner absolutely loved her plants. And I'm not a gardener, as you can probably see. If you're a gardener, you'll notice loads of weeds. But it's just so full of flowers right through the year. There's flowers blooming probably from sort of May till September. Amazing garden. And then there's also loads of fruit trees within the garden, apples and plums and so on. This was filmed at the end of September, and as you will see, there's onions drying here. The tomatoes have only just stopped fruiting, and it's just a beautiful, bright space. And here's us, this is where we use it in August to have my birthday meal celebration, even though it was absolutely roasting hot and we were all dripping because it was so warm. As you can see, it's just this beautiful, beautiful green space, and yeah, I hope you can see partly why I'm so enamoured of this space. But what you might not have noticed is that most of those windows are actually repurposed windows from other places, or certainly some of them are. And yes, that's one of 2 grapevines that are in there, and they do fruit and we do get grapes from them. And here is a fig tree, and yes, we have had figs from that because it gets really warm in here and the long days give it plenty of time to ripen. So I hope you can see something of why I absolutely love this space. It's so vibrant and light and green. And of course, what's amazing about it is you shut the door and the midges can't get in. So it's a midge-free zone if you want to sit outside in the summer too.
So that was all filmed in September last year, and as you can see from the garden, it all looks very, very different and very much barer. I'm filming this now in March, and I don't know if you can tell, it's actually snowing slash raining. So the wonderful thing about this cottage is that it does look totally different in every season. So if you want to see some pictures of the cottage in autumn, I'll pop a link up here. And I'll also pop another link up if you want to know why I bought this cottage, because there's a whole story to that. I'll pop that up here too. You can look forward to some more videos coming from the Swedish cottage over the next few months. Please pop down in the comments below any questions or anything that you would particularly like to see. I'd love to film videos that you'd find interesting or answer any questions that you might have. I've done some videos about the buying process, which I'll pop up here. Yeah, please just let me know what you think about the cottage, whether this is something you'd like to do, what you're watching this video for. I'd love to hear more about that. That's enough from me. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.